Hello, Abraham. I'm still a recovering physicist. I'm wanting to hear from you about law of attraction and karma. Now, I've heard you say that there is no such thing as karma. A month ago, I went to hear a man.
Well, we have to say, we do not believe that we have ever said there's no such thing as karma, because there is such a thing as anything that anybody holds as a thought, and in other words, everything is valid.
Yes.
What we say about karma, let's just get it out here in the beginning, and then we will be very quiet and listen to you.
Thank you.
Is that when most people use the word karma, it activates a vibration around the subject that is very different from what we know to be. There are many things that people also mean when they use a word like karma that we do agree with, such as there was that which came before now. We agree with that. And in the same way that we know that your future experience now, the future experience in this physical lifetime, is affected by what you're thinking now. In other words, there is pre-paving into the future. We acknowledge that you are an eternal being who had plans as you came into this life experience. So we are in agreement with those ideas of karma. What we are not in agreement with is that you are unworthy beings coming forth to be tested by some arbitrator who is watching you climb the karmic ladder. And we do not acknowledge or agree that if you come forth into this physical experience living a life that someone else would not want to live, that it is true that you have misapplied yourself in some previous life and now you are here to try to make up for it. In other words, and those are the primary precepts that people are putting forth when they are offering the idea of karma. So now, having sort of laid the basis of what we do say about it, what clarification would you like from us?
What I hear from you that's different than what I usually hear when someone talks about karma is encapsulated in what you said on a recent tape I heard, quoting from Seth, that all of my power is in the present. That's what's different. Karma implies some flavor, some degree of predestination, and I don't want to live in a universe like that. I would much rather live in a universe where I have choice.
Well, let's soften a little bit and see if we can bridge this so that you can be comfortable with the idea of the continuum of life and still accept and acknowledge you're powerful now. As you stand now, every day you have experiences that cause you to launch preferences. And those preferences literally shoot out like rockets into your future and begin coalescing so that when you walk forward into your future, it has the potential of all kinds of things that you've been asking for. We like this new terminology that we're offering because you seem to understand it from your physical format. You are launching rockets of desire that are being held in vibrational escrow for you. So, and you have to understand that there are the 3 steps to creation are ask, answer the asking, and then allow. And as far as you are concerned, there are only 2. Ask and let it in, ask and let it in, ask and let it in, ask and let it in. And because you live in this buffer of time, then that must mean that you can ask for something that is not necessarily manifesting in your now, but it is something that you must achieve vibrationally in your now. So when you ask for something and you have an expectation of receiving it, now those 2 vibrations are in alignment and it comes swiftly into your experience, you see. So when you're looking at it in terms of predestination, we have to say, if we are talking about vibrational escrow, then we are talking about predestination. In essence, we're talking about you determining what's going to happen to you based upon the data that you collect and the desires and preferences that you launch forth. But it isn't because someone else has decided. But then it gets complicated because now we can't separate you from you. So we have to now factor in the idea that you were intending for your life experience even before you became the physical body you that was born of your mother. In other words, the you that was you was setting forth intentions about this physical experience. So we will say emphatically here, and for the record, that predestination does occur. It absolutely does occur, but the predestination that is launched before your birth is always, I am a magnificent being, I'm a creator, I want to be the creator of my experience, I'm going forth into this physical experience for the joyous adventure of feeling the expansion and coming into alignment with who I am. You see, non-physical energies, which includes all of you, have been around long enough to know that we are eternal beings. And we have come to know that nothing is broken and nothing needs to be fixed because we know that it's never done. We know that any of us could stand in the moment of something unwanted, and we know that in that unwanted moment, desire would be born, that source would begin to answer. You see. The well-being is so pervasive and so understood. But physical humans, when they want to talk about predestination, they keep wanting to point out things that have gone wrong and assume that that has been predestined from non-physical energy. And we say everything that you deem going wrong in this physical experience is happening because somebody somewhere is disallowing the wellness that would be there otherwise, you see. There's not a source of illness or a source of darkness or a source of evil. You don't walk into a room and look for a dark switch. You know there is not one on the wall somewhere. You're not going to flip a switch that puts inky, misty darkness in and covers up the light. You might flip a switch or turn a knob that resists the light. But the source is one of well-being, you see. So when you factor, just for a little while, for the next few days, ask of yourself these karma questions. But start each one, before you pose each question, begin with these words. I'm wanting to ask this question from my known premise that well-being abounds, that well-being is the stream that flows. And what you'll discover, you'll find the flaw in all of those questions. So many people are looking at physical results of how people have flowed energy, and then they are here it is. When you see someone living something that you know they do not want to live, it's hard for you to accept that they are the creator of their own reality, because you know they would not do that to themselves if they could keep from doing it. So then you conjure endless stories to try to explain how that could be so. So you say things like, you must have been bad in a past life. Or this is where you are on the karmic wheel. Or you are not an enlightened being. And they even go so far as to say, when you are truly enlightened, you won't come into physical experience at all. And we say how very off base that thinking is. You don't come forth because you need to, or because you have to, or because you're supposed to, or because you need to earn something. You come forth as worthy creators who enjoy life and saw this leading edge environment as the most glorious opportunity to live life with all this sensual, vibrational interpretation that just makes life so much better, you see. Did we get there?
We got there. Thank you.